What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Coffee Pod. I'm Mr. Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
All right, we're going to start this one out with a question. Do you think that men should be able to opt out of child support? That's the question. Do you think that men should be able to opt out of child support? Now, that question, of course, is a bit complicated because we know there are nuances and different layers to different situations. You have men who are out here thinking that they could create babies and broken households and there are no repercussions. I'm sure a lot of people would say, yeah, those guys need to be held accountable. Then you have men who have been sort of trapped, right, into a situation. When I say trapped, I do mean trapped, as in they're gold diggers out here whose main purpose is to get pregnant by rich men so that they can now leverage a child support to enrich themselves. It's not about the baby or building a family. It's a meal ticket to financial stability. And then you have the chicks who are from broken relationships, divorces, and you can make a case for those men keeping up with supporting their children. And I think most reasonable people would agree with that. And then you have these weird laws where if your wife cheats on you in some states and she has a baby, legally that baby is automatically yours, as in it's your responsibility to pay child support for that baby, even if you divorce her for cheating on you. I know, insane. What if I told you there was a way that women could get out of child support? And they're called baby box drop-offs. Check out this article that reads, more places install drop-off boxes for surrendered babies. Critics say they're a gimmick. One small business has leased more than 200 patent baby boxes in 15 states, and lawmakers in others are embracing them. So they're basically these stations where a person can come and drop off a baby that they don't want. And the way that they're trying to set these up is that the person, the woman who happens to drop the babies off, isn't prosecuted for abandoning that child. Check out this video from WTHR news station explaining it. Check it out.
In the last few hours, we've learned a baby was surrendered to the Safe Haven Baby Box in Carmel.
First responders at Fire Station 345 quickly helped the newborn. These baby boxes provide a resource for mothers in crisis.
Tonight, Haley Minogue is talking with the organization's founder about her effort to give these women a place to surrender their child safely and do it anonymously.
With over 100 locations across the country,
we don't know what some of these women would have done had there not been a box there.
Safe Haven baby boxes have become a fixture in several communities.
It's reality. You know, it's not ideal, but it's reality.
Whenever there's news of a surrender, founder Monica Kelsey travels to the location. Most recently, she sat down with
Hold on, I want to see how that looks like. All right, so I'm looking at a tub, it looks like, and there's a soft padding at the bottom. And apparently the temperature in that thing is controlled and there's ventilation and such. Okay, seems pretty straightforward. Let's keep listening.
Most recently, she sat down with WHAS 11 to talk about some of the questions we hear about the services her organization provides.
Nobody's crisis is the same. You know, your younger kids are scared to go home and tell their parents. But an older person, their crisis is completely different.
Out of 166 total infants saved, 33 were placed in boxes and 133 were surrendered through a handoff coordinated via hotline. When a baby surrendered anonymously in the box, it's truly anonymous.
They are very intelligent. They research everything, and they're doing it on their own. And this is an option that they're choosing, and we should respect that.
Okay, so this is an option they're choosing, and we should respect that. Baby box drop-offs. Here's my question, because I think that this definitely is something that's benefiting babies, right? I'm not somebody who says, oh, they shouldn't be allowed to drop their babies off. My question is this. Is there any time that a man, and by the way, men aren't allowed to be in a position where they don't want to have responsibility because they're in a crisis in this equal world. Don't forget the world is equal here. Is there any opportunity where a man can also say, hey, I'm in a crisis, I can't do this? The answer is no. At least I don't think there is. I haven't heard of a situation where there are certain crises that would make it so that a man can't pay, unless if there's something I'm unaware of. All right, guys. So I have to ask Mr. Coffee. This is our male AI assistant barista here. I have to ask this question really specific, because if I just ask, is there any way to avoid child support? As a man, it's going to talk about incarceration. It's going to talk about a bunch of things, but it has to be voluntary, right? Mr. Coffee, is there any way a man can voluntarily, due to a crisis, avoid paying child support? That seems pretty fair, right? So what do you think? Do you think I asked that question, maybe you'd ask it differently? See, he's trying to look. He's like, nah.
Is there any way a man can voluntarily, due to a crisis, avoid paying child support?
Yeah.
A man cannot simply choose to avoid paying child support due to a crisis without legal approval.
Mm.
However, there are situations where child support payments can be modified or paused. 1.
No, we don't care about
incarceration.
We don't care.
If a man is in prison,
We're done. He's probably in prison because he didn't pay child support, because that's what they do. That's what they do. Let's check out some of these comments what people have to say. First commenter here says, or you could just let people have free birth control and access to, I can't say the word here, but it's deletion. So basically, a lot of these states that are allowing these baby drop-offs are also places where they're against deletion of the child. Somebody else here says, another example of women never being held accountable. Here's somebody else who added, mama should have to leave her social security number so they can garnish her wages for child support to the new family. You know what's funny is that people read that comment and they'll be like, what a bitter man. You know, you just want her to experience what you go through. Again, I do understand that there are certain situations where a woman actually might be going through things like postpartum, and the situation can call for something like this. But from what I've read so far, they're not there asking any questions. Anybody can do this. You can be just a deadbeat mom. Oh, but they don't exist. Yes, deadbeat moms do exist, and they should be held accountable too. Somebody else here says, will my 14-year-old fit? That's funny. Here's another comment that says, great idea. If a woman has severe postpartum depression, psychosis, this will save a baby's life. I agree with that. If somebody has been raped, she goes on to say, and it's illegal to terminate this is a safe solution. There's so many scenarios where this is a lifesaver. I agree. There are situations where this helps. Somebody else here added, wild, but at least it ain't a dumpster or high school bathroom floor during the prom. This is true. Somebody else here says, this is weird. Does this require consent from both parents? That's a good question. I didn't even think of that. What do you guys think of that? Somebody else here added, exactly, women are entitled to do everything. A man needs to follow some rules. Listen, of course, I'm curious to know what you guys think. Leave your comments down below. I appreciate you for checking out yet another episode of the Coffee Pod. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.